Hey everyone, Mac here and welcome to another 100% full game walkthrough. This is for the highly anticipated 12 minutes where I'll be taking you through the entire game in roughly an hour and 40 minutes. I'll be showing you all of the different loops you'll need to do in order to proceed and progress through the game. I'll also show you all the collectibles and all of the endings to make sure you get that 100% completion. Obviously, because I know everything in the game and there's like kind of a lot of puzzles, I'm cutting down a lot of the content. Normally, if you played this game, you'd probably be playing realistically for about 5 or 6 hours. From the main menu, we're going to click continue and we are going to get started right out of the gate. As soon as you spawn, we're going to go for our first ending of the game and our very first achievement, which is called Listen. It is the classic way you can beat a game. There's a lot of games that have been doing this lately, but we'll walk forward. I'm going to show you two quick things. There's this flower on the right-hand side. This is a reoccurring theme. I'm going to show you some bonus items you don't really need, like this flower, and it's going to give you a little bit more appreciation for how kind of attention to detail crazy this game is. Also on the left-hand side as you exit the elevator, there is a red book. We'll keep that in mind for later. We don't actually need it, but if you approach your door, you'll notice that there is a plant on the left-hand side. You can inspect the plant to find the rock, and then what we're going to do is we're always going to be using our bumpers to go through our inventory to pick up the rock. Once we look at the rock, we will find the key, press outside in order to leave that screen. I don't know why I went to that door. Doesn't matter. And then we will right bumper over to the house key and then drag it to our front door. This will allow us to go inside. This is a point-and-click adventure style game. You may enjoy playing it more on a PC with a keyboard and mouse, but I am playing with a controller today, and hopefully you can as well. I won't be like speedrunning it so that you guys can definitely follow along and not have to pause the video too many times. As soon as we start, we're basically going to do nothing. Like literally don't even touch your controller. Don't walk anywhere. Don't pick anything up. Just stand here, sit here, and wait for about 3 minutes.
Best night ever. Guess who made dessert? Let me know when you're in the mood.
If you want a little bit of a backstory, this game is a time loop game where you are playing the same scenario over and over, learning more and more information about what's going on in order to kind of figure out the mystery and what exactly is going on.
Want to sit for a second? So, how was your day?
Oh, you know, glad to be home.
I'm glad you're home too.
Well, I like hearing that.
Hey, I was thinking, what if there's room for something more in our lives?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I'm happy now. But, you know, what if there was more?
What do you mean more?
Just more. More than just thinking about myself.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, if you want to get started, I could really go for a massage right about now.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Again, because we are getting the listen ending, we are literally doing nothing. Don't click, don't interact with anything. Just sit there and wait. Your wife will do all the talking on her own.
Okay. So what if, hypothetically, I had an affair?
Excuse me?
No, I mean I didn't. But if I had had one, would you want to know?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I guess I prefer it if you didn't tell me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the past is in the past. It's better to keep it there if it's just gonna hurt me.
So lying would be better.
I mean, no, not lying, but like if this hypothetical affair was over and it's in the past and it's not affecting us, why lob a grenade?
Right. Okay. So,
wait, did you have an affair?
No, I shouldn't have said that. I did some things in the past. I made some mistakes. And those mistakes might not stay in the past.
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
You trust me?
Yes. Yes, more than anyone.
Okay. Stay right here.
Okay.
As you can probably see, the wife's conscience is eating at her, and she seems like she's going to confess to something. This is a lot of information to get right out of the way. This is basically one of the 4 endings you can get, and we're just going to get it out of the way right away.
So, what's happening?
1 second. I'll tell you, just not here.
Where?
Anywhere, just not here. Come on, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Just like that, we got our first ending and our first rare achievement. I assume most of them will be rare as we play through. But once that happens, the clock will reset and we're basically going to be brought back to the main menu and we have to restart the game. But that's fine because we didn't really have much progress rather. We're going to now continue and start our first kind of real loop here where we're actually going to do things. So, you know, I won't be going too fast, but you definitely have to have a decent pace as everything in this game does happen in real time. So the longer you take, the quicker it'll end. Now, if you unfortunately fail a loop, don't worry. You can just basically restart it and redo the same thing over again. So don't worry if you're falling behind and something happens differently than what I'm showing. It's not really a huge deal. You just kind of have to restart. So we're going to pick up the fake rock again. We're going to get the house keys. We are going to drag the house keys to the front door to open it. And at any point, if you want to end a loop, you can just walk out of your front door. Or if you die or get damaged in any way, you'll also end the loop automatically. So as soon as we enter, what we want to do is interact with the light switch on the wall next to the door to turn on the light. You can grab the mug that is next to the table. And grab the mug that is next to the sink. As soon as every loop starts, your wife will talk to you. This is unavoidable, but you can actually click through it later on in the game. Once things have already happened, you don't have to actually listen to them every single time. After she is done, we're going to get a couple of... we're actually going to fill the sink here. Go to the sink with the mug and interact with the mug on the sink, and that will fill one of your mugs. Now I'm going to show you a couple of collectibles. On the bottom of the screen, there's this painting of the seasons. This painting will change as we play through the game. You have to make sure you look at all 4. So that's our first one. There's this egg painting. This will change. There are 3 different egg paintings. Make sure you look at them when I look at them, but they keep changing, so keep that in mind. And then we will go to the bedroom, which is this room on the left. Turn on the light, which will shock you. Pull out your mug with water and water the plant. And inside the bedroom, very important, there is another collectible. You will get the Fluidity Achievement here. So you look at the painting here on the bedroom wall. You'll notice that there is a man and a woman on a balcony. That is number 1 out of 3. We're now going to leave from the front door. And we're going to ask our wife about her book by clicking on the book. You have to at least ask her a couple times about her book, and every time you ask her, it'll evolve the conversation a little bit further. You don't have to do it in this run. If you miss the book, it's fine. Just do it later. I'll remind you plenty of times. After you ask about the book, talk to your wife and tell her that it's a good time for dessert. Then what you want to do is you want to set the table for dessert. So go to the fridge. She'll start getting ready for dessert. We're going to take both of the plates of chocolate cake out of the fridge. We're going to select both of the mugs and interact with the sink in order to fill both of the mugs. Once both of the mugs are filled and we have both of the cakes, we're going to basically take the mug and interact with the table. Take the mug and interact with the table again. Take the cake.
Since you have the plates with you, want to go ahead and finish setting?
She's going to ask us to set the table. We're going to put the plate on the table as well. We're going to put the other plate on the table as well. We're now going to turn off the lights by using the light switch next to the door to set the mood. And then we are going to talk to the wife and tell her the table is ready.
Table set.
Nice. Great. Let's do it.
And now you can select a chair to sit down. I tend to sit down on the right-hand side next to the fridge. She might also turn on the radio to have a little bit of nice music playing. Now, because this game happens in real time, if you took a little bit longer to get to this point than I did, some other things might have happened, but you should still be good to go. Again, if you ever fail or feel like you failed, you should be able to easily mop it up on another loop. You can also click on your plate in order to actually eat your dessert. So we'll do that. I don't know if it's necessary, but it might forward the conversation a little bit faster.
I have something to share.
Dessert and a present? When is this, my birthday?
Just open it.
She is now going to give you a present, and we are going to select it. We're going to open the present, and inside, baby clothes. And the baby's name is Dahlia. Now, there was a very brief moment there where he said, Dahlia, that's my mother's name. And you can ask your wife more about this, or you can just select the conversation to continue. So at this point, just tell her what you think, and then tell her that it's going to be great.
You know, decent. The baby that we make is gonna be amazing. And it will be so loved.
Yeah. Damn straight. God, I love you.
At some point here, you should hear an elevator in the hallway. This is based on the time. And once the doorbell rings, the police will come in and arrest your wife. We're actually just not going to do anything here. We're just going to wait for this to happen. Alternatively, we could have danced and the cop would have come as well. We could have really had a conversation about anything. But what's important is that the cop will come in and arrest you and your wife, and that will end the loop. This will give us a lot of information that we need in terms of the baby present, in terms of the cop coming. This is kind of just giving us some of the information we need for the next loop.
My wrists. I don't know. This is a mistake. Babe, will you talk? This is a misunderstanding. Look, I don't know.
You're under arrest for your father's murder 8 years ago.
No. That can't be right.
Shut up. You know what this is. Now, where's your father's watch?
My father? Please, you must be thinking of someone else.
So here we just heard about a pocket watch, which is the most important item in the game, really.
Tell him.
He can't help you. Just you and me. Tell me where the watch is, and we all go our separate ways.
I'm telling you, I don't know about any watch.
Okay, let's just see.
Look, I don't know. No, please. Will you? Please. Okay. Just stop, please. I'll tell you. Just don't hurt him.
So we don't actually know where the watch is, unfortunately, but we will find out a little bit more in this loop. As soon as you start this loop, we're going to turn on the light. We're going to grab both mugs. And we're just going to talk to our wife because she always talks to us. But we can fast forward the conversation now because we've already had it. So just fast forward the conversation to get through it more quickly. If you look at the painting on the wall behind the couch,
How is this possible?
you will notice that this painting is now in summer. It will only be in summer after you learn some of the information we just had. So we now have spring and summer crossed off the list. Now what we want to do is we want to go into the bathroom. We want to close the door behind us. We want to open the medicine cabinet. We want to grab the sleeping pills. We want to go to the inventory and grab the mug and use the mug on the sink. This will fill the mug. Now we want to grab the sleeping pills and mix them with the mug that has water. Now we want to leave out of the bathroom door. And then we want to go down, and we can interact with the book here. If you've already done this, that's fine, but this kind of progresses a book-based achievement later on in the game. Just keep talking to her about the book whenever you kind of have the opportunity, anytime you reach a new loop, until the loop kind of repeats itself.
It is only by forgetting that we ever really dropped.
So this is the second time I've interacted with her about her book, and now she's giving me a direct quote from the book.
Yeah, you're right. Not my thing.
Cool. Good talk, honey.
As you were.
Now I'm going to give her the mug mixed with the prescription.
Water?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I was about to grab some.
Now, as soon as she grabs the water, this part's pretty important. You want to walk to the bedroom, and we're going to have to turn the lights on and then turn them off immediately after. This is a very important step. We can then walk into the main room, and we can close the bathroom door. The wife will obviously get pretty tired and go to bed now, so we'll just make sure she goes to bed.
Just gonna lie down for a sec. We'll talk later.
As soon as she is in bed, walk into the living room with the bathroom door closed. Open the front door. Do not go through it, though. This will just speed up the process. Open the closet, which is next to the door. Go inside. Close the closet door. And now just wait for about 5 seconds. When you wait for about 5 seconds, your character will say, "Now we wait." This will fast forward time, and the cop will come. Because the front door is open, they'll also just walk right on through instead of knocking, which saves us a little bit of time. And because we have primed the light switch, they will electrocute themselves on the light switch and knock themselves unconscious. This is something we would have figured out through experimentation, but we just did it the shortcut way. You'll hear him electrocute himself, and then he will get knocked out. Leave the closet by opening the door and going to the bedroom. Interact with the unconscious cop to look at their inventory. Select all of their items and take it. Then select one of the handcuffs and apply it to the cop. We have to be pretty quick here. As soon as we tie the handcuffs, go to the cop's cell phone. Open up the cell phone. Go to the text messages. Find a text message from Bumblebee. And then select the number. And then press the dial button. As soon as that happens, go through the inventory, select your knife, and then stab the cop. Do not stab the handcuffs, though. That will release him free.
Hey, what are you doing with that thing?
We'll now have a pretty long conversation with the cop as they are bleeding out, which will allow us to learn a lot of information.
I'm not fighting you. What do you want?
What you want to start off by saying is ask about the murder charges.
Accused of exactly?
You really have no idea, do you? 8 years ago, she murdered her father in cold blood.
Why would she possibly do something like that?
Why would she possibly do something like that?
Money, jealousy, a million reasons. You should ask her.
How do you know it was her?
What makes you think she did it?
Of course she did it. Same gun, same room. It's obvious.
Why are you still after my wife?
It's been so long.
I never stopped looking. Finally got a tip. Pointed me here.
Then we want to choose how was her father murdered?
Her. She shot him. Christmas Eve 8 years ago. Didn't kill him, though. Then on New Year's Eve, she came back and finished the job. 2 shots. Close range. Heartless. Now, please, call an ambulance.
Ask about the tip.
The pocket watch she stole, she tried to sell at pawn shop owner. Let us know.
Ask about the
Why
watch.
do you want the watch?
Shit. I need a doctor.
Yeah, I'll say. And I'm gonna hurt you again if you make me. The watch, come on.
Fuck. fucking watch. You have any idea what that thing is worth?
Money? That's what this is about? You'd murderers for money?
You really don't know.
No.
Your wife, her father, closest thing to family I ever had.
You knew him?
Knew him. He taught me everything I know. He was good to me. But no one else was. And that monster murdered him.
Ask about his relationship with the father.
Right?
Yeah. He was good to me. Taught me a lot. I owe him this. Now, will you please untie me?
And then ask about his daughter.
How's that daughter of yours doing?
So we've learned quite a bit. His daughter, at this point, sorry, you can leave the conversation once he's done. And then we're going to want to end the loop prematurely, so we're going to use the revolver, and we're just going to use it on ourselves. But we've learned quite a lot. The cop is after a watch that apparently our wife has, and our wife apparently murdered her father for that watch. And I think the cop wants the watch because it is very valuable financially, and he needs the money. All right, so this loop is pretty easy. All we're going to do as soon as we start is we're going to open the closet door on the left-hand side. Once you open the door, go inside and close the door. This is important that we get this done before the wife sees us because she doesn't even know we're home now. If we wait for about 5 seconds, then we will just fast forward to when the cop shows up, and we're just going to sit in the closet and be a witness to their conversation. They're going to talk about a lot of things that they wouldn't have talked about if you were in the room, so you'll get a lot more details about what exactly is going on in this mystery, and that will be basically this entire loop for now.
With the police. Turn around, please.
What? Me?
Yes, you. Hands behind your back. Let's go. Hold still.
Hey! Oh my... I don't know what you... This is a mistake.
Uh-huh.
I don't... You must be... Look... I don't know. You don't have to handcuff me. We can talk about this.
We will.
I don't know who you are, but I am not who you're looking for. This...
Anyone else?
It's a mistake.
Come on out.
Please. Please don't hurt me.
Anyone else here? Husband, boyfriend, girlfriend.
My husband.
So this is why we were hiding in the closet. It's so that they think they are alone completely.
Just us then. 8 years ago. Your father? A gun?
Father?
Ring any bells?
Why are you asking?
Come on, skip this part.
Please. I swear. Oh!
You're gonna give me his watch. Only question is how much you make me hurt you before you do.
I don't know about anyone.
Keep lying. See how creative I can get.
Help! Help!
Be honest with yourself. You knew this would happen. There's no cavalry coming. Nobody's gonna save you. If you want to live, tell me where the watch is. This is your very last chance.
It's in the vent in the bathroom, under the medicine cabinet.
Good girl.
So this was really important. We learned where we can find the watch, and we definitely need that information.
Find it?
I did.
Okay, now will you let me go? What are you?
Easy now. Deep breath in.
No.
After that happens, we can interact with the door and go into the room. And then we can basically just walk out the front door.
It has to restart. I can't.
Actually, I don't remember. It might not let us walk out the front of the
I
room.
really like losing you. All right, and the baby. Oh, fuck. It's gonna restart. I know it will. It has to.
Yeah, we're just going to walk out the front door.
What?
All right, perfect. We are now in the next loop. And this loop, we're going to basically just be proving that we're in a loop.
Are you kidding me?
We're going to turn on the light. We are going to go to... We're just going to wait, actually. We're going to have to wait for her anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We don't need to get the mugs. We don't need to really do anything. We're just going to have our conversation with her first. And because we know where the pocket watch is now, we're going to fast forward through the conversation. But because we know where the pocket watch is now, let's go and grab it. Go into the bathroom, close the door behind you. Interact with the medicine cabinet. Select your house keys from the inventory and interact with the ventilation grid underneath the medicine cabinet. In here, it's very dark on console, but there is a pocket watch. It's called an object, but you'll pick it up.
So this was her father's watch.
Click off the screen in order to put it away. Open the door, and now we're going to go to the bedroom. Once in the bedroom, there is a drawer here in the middle. Look in the drawer. It's pretty dark, but there's a present kind of near the middle, so grab the present. Now what you want to do is go back to the living room and select the watch from your inventory and give it to your wife.
I found your watch in the vent.
What?
There's a man, and he said that you killed your father.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I need you to tell me the truth.
Where is this coming from?
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm living the same 10 minutes over and over and over again. So, look, I'll prove it to you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So now we have to prove to her that we're in the loop. So choose what to prove with. And now we're going to select the present and give her the present.
I don't.
This present. Look, it's clearly an open. But I know there were baby clothes inside.
I just bought them today. How could you know?
I told you that I'm in a time loop. Do you believe me now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I do, yeah. I don't even know where to start. My dad wasn't always the man he wanted to be. After I was born, my mom was really focused on me, and I guess my dad felt it doesn't matter. He started sleeping.
At this point, you're just basically receiving a lot of information. Your father cheated on, your wife's father cheated on her mother with the nanny.
I mean,
And she's gonna confess as to, everything that happened or how she remembers it.
we fought. Nobody can hurt you like the ones you love, right? Oh, anyway, God.
Hey, I know that this is hard, but please, I need to know.
Yeah. Christmas Eve, he had caught me trying to sneak out, and I was so mad. I just poked at him and prodded at him, and he hit me.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I saw red, of course, and he always had guns around. I grabbed one, and I shot him, and I made it here on New Year's
We can fast forward through the conversation a little bit, but that's just going to speed things up. But all of this information is actually pretty useful to us, so I'm not going to skip forward through it, but you can if you want.
Later, you showed up and
Basically, it was Christmas Eve. She ran away from home, and then New Year's, the week later, her and you, the main character, kind of got together on New Year's and spent it together.
please talk to me. Will you just say something?
At this point, you can talk to her, but it doesn't really matter. We're basically just waiting for the cop.
Next few minutes, the cop is going to be at the door.
He's how you found out about my dad?
Yes.
You can pretty much choose whatever you want. It doesn't matter. We do want to get arrested by the cop. We do want to let him in. So I'm just going to leave the conversation and wait at this point.
What now?
So once he gets here, I'm going to let her open up the door and arrest us.
Is that him? What do we do? Do we open the door? Let's just wait for him to leave. Wait. You know what he wants.
Come on, I know you're home. Open the door.
Can you make him leave?
I'm with the police. Turn around, please.
What? Me?
Yes, you. Hands behind your back. Let's go. Hold still.
Oh my. All right. Let's get this over. Ow.
Now you. Hands behind your back, please.
Help me.
Don't move.
Will you come help me? My wrists. I don't know. This is a mistake. Babe, will you tell me? This is a misunderstanding.
You're under arrest for your father's murder 8 years ago.
No. Please, no. This can't be real. This can't be.
Shut up. You know what this is. Now, where's your father's watch?
I don't want to do this. Please.
No playing dumb. Tell me where the watch is.
I don't want to do this. Babe, are you...
He can't help you. Just you and me. Tell me where the watch is, and we all go our separate ways.
Please. Please just let us go.
Okay. Let's just see.
Look, I no. Stop. Don't hurt him. No. Okay. I have it right here. Just stop. No. You're killing him. I'll give you the watch. Just stop. Let him go.
So in the last loop, we proved that we are stuck in a loop to our wife. Now we're going to prove that our wife is innocent. As soon as it starts, let's turn on the light switch and head over to the fridge in the corner of the room. Once you interact with the fridge, you want to take the Polaroid from the middle of the fridge. Then I'm just going to walk to the middle of the room and allow my wife to interact with me here. I'm going to skip through this as we have been, as it's pretty much always the same.
Okay.
And then after that, we are going to inspect the Polaroid from our inventory by bringing it up and then looking at it. And this is a picture from New Year's 8 years ago, which means she couldn't have been the killer. All right, so lots of things are happening. Now that we know she is not the killer because of this photo, we can go back and we can now head to the closet door. Go inside the closet, interact with the clothing, and pick up the telephone here. Go to the inventory, select the telephone. And here what we'll want to do is call Bumblebee. We got her number earlier from when we interrogated the cop.
Hello?
When she picks up, what we have to do is first say her father wants to arrest your wife.
Dad says that my wife killed her father. He's coming to hurt her.
This isn't funny, you creep.
And then after that, you have to say your wife is innocent.
Listen, my wife isn't, but your daddy, he won't listen to us.
I don't know what you're talking.
He doesn't have the whole story. Please, could you...
This is basically going to make Bumblebee, the cop, quote, cop's daughter, call him and calm him down a little bit about the situation before he reaches us in the house.
I wasn't expecting this.
Once that's done, we are going to leave out the door and go to the washroom. Close the door behind you. And we will want to interact with the medicine cabinet. Use the house keys to open the ventilation grid. And pull out the pocket watch. We can then open the door and go back into the living room. Here we will interact with the book yet again.
What you reading?
Oh, it's not really your thing.
And this time we will answer with a direct quote from the book to show that we kind of learned a little bit about the book. We have to progress through the book more and more and more as we play through the game. I think you have to do at least 4 unique loops where you interact with the book.
Never cease to amaze me.
After that, you want to talk to the wife, ask about her past, and say, tell her you know what she's hiding in the vent. This will trigger a recap of all of the knowledge you've attained and all of the things that are already understood by both characters. We're actually going to fast forward a little bit through this, as it should be somewhat obvious based on all the events that have happened, and we can move forward a little bit.
Look, I'm on your side.
On my side? Oh God, look, I didn't.
At this point, what you want to do is you want to give her the photo once she starts ending the conversation.
You didn't kill him.
What?
When you shot him, he survived.
You're gonna basically convince her that she is innocent by showing her the proof, which is the Polaroid.
You weren't there.
That means...
After that, there's one more thing we need to talk to her about, and we want to tell her about the cop.
And in the next few minutes, the cop is going to be at the door.
He's how you found out about my dad?
Yes.
And then you want to explain the cop's connection to her father. This is an extremely important dialogue selection you will need to make for the events that are about to happen to go the way you want them to.
When he died, this is personal.
Yeah, well, same.
Then we're going to leave the conversation, and we're going to give her the pocket watch. She doesn't need it, but it speeds up things later.
Here, have the watch.
Thanks.
And at this point, we're pretty much just waiting for the cop, but feel free to talk to her, talk about the past, and basically just exhaust all of these dialogue options. Feel free to actually listen in on them. There's a lot of really great information here, but I will summarize as I go through it. You can ask her who she thinks killed the father. Either way, at some point during this conversation, you will hear that the cop has ridden the elevator, and he has reached the top of the elevator, and Bumblebee has actually called him. So that is good news, because he's going to come in with a different attitude than otherwise. You can ask about the father's affair, you can ask about the nanny, and you can ask about where the watch came from. Realistically, you won't have enough time to go through every dialogue option, but try your best to go through as many as you can. We will need to get through them in the next loop, so you can get through some of them now and then some of them in the next loop.
My dad, God, he wanted to. He couldn't. Nothing. She hated him.
What did he do?
Nothing he didn't do. And I didn't until...
Now that the cop is here, I'm going to leave the conversation, and I'm going to step to the side, and I'm going to let my wife talk to him.
You think you're funny? Calling my family?
He's going to accuse my wife of calling his daughter, which she didn't do, but we did do.
Hands behind your back. Now.
Wait, stop.
And instead of arresting her, she's going to try to prove her innocence by using the Polaroid.
I have proof.
Sure you do.
Look at
This would only happen because she has the Polaroid, obviously, and we've basically educated her on how it proves her innocence.
I can't be in 2 places at once.
Congratulations.
He doesn't believe that photograph, so he's going to want to arrest her anyways.
Listen.
But because we told her about about this cop's connection to the father, she's going to reason with him. And because she has that knowledge, they're able to have a more intimate conversation and reason with each other.
But it wasn't me.
I'm sorry.
Again, this is only possible if you let your wife know that the connection the cop has to the father exists. At this point, the cop, we're going to keep calling him cop for now. He has a daughter who is unfortunately ill. The insurance won't cover the payment. But luckily, your wife has the watch that we gave her, and she will give it to him. If you didn't give her the watch, she'll go grab it from the washroom, so it's not really too much of an issue. But you do want to end this conversation with both of them agreeing and your watch being given to the cop. Once that happens, he will say that he will go and look for the killer on your behalf for being a good person.
She does.
I'm pretty good at finding people, obviously. I'll find out who killed your father.
Thank you.
Actually,
And he's going to give us one clue here that is really important, and that is when the father was dying, he was using the word monster. We're going to have to find out who the monster is in the next loop.
I always wondered what it meant.
It's my brother. Oh my god.
So the wife does know that the monster is the brother, but we don't really know much about the brother right now, and the loop is about to end anyways.
Having their affair, there was a baby, a boy.
A baby. I knew about the affair, but
There was an affair with the nanny, and the nanny had a baby.
Hated the kid too, always yelling at my dad about the monster. That's him.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. But I'll find him.
He offers to find him, and then he leaves and ends the loop.
Wow. So what happens now?
I believe the loop ends here with you and your wife embracing each other.
Now we can go.
I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, but they're going to basically recap exactly what we already know.
Yeah, wow. I thought I'd have to hold that forever. But you listened.
I told you. I'm not going anywhere.
Man, I really, really love you.
I really love you.
As soon as this next loop starts, we are going to want to go into the closet on the left-hand side, and we're going to want to grab the cell phone from the clothes. Go inside, grab the cell phone from the clothes, and then phone Bumblebee as soon as you can. Once you call Bumblebee, you want to say that your wife is innocent.
Hey, your dad says that my wife murdered her.
You can fast forward through the beginning of this conversation. Say your wife is innocent.
My wife is innocent, but your dad, he won't listen to us.
Unfortunately, you can't fast forward through the end of this conversation, though.
And tell him to listen. He doesn't have the whole story.
Okay, fine. I'll call him, but lose my number.
Now I'm going to walk into the room. I'm going to get greeted by the wife.
I didn't hear you come in.
We're going to skip that conversation very quickly.
Yeah, I will.
And I'm going to show you two new collectibles. First off, the painting on the wall is now in fall. So that's 3 out of the 4 seasons done. This painting becomes the fall after you have the friendly cop interaction from the last loop. Then I'm going to go into the bedroom. I'm going to turn on the light switch, and there's a painting on the bottom here. I'm going to interact with this painting, and you'll notice that the couple is now standing apart from each other on a balcony. This happens after convincing Bumblebee that the wife is innocent. Additionally, in this room, there is a flower, and your flower might have flowers growing on it. It might not, but we'll come back to that. That's really not all that important. We're going to go into the living room and then go into the bathroom. We're going to close the door behind us, and we are going to grab the watch by interacting with the medicine cabinet using our house keys on the ventilation grid, and then grabbing the pocket watch. We're then going to exit the room, go to the living room. We can interact with our wife's book yet again here.
Wise man once
And
said,
now we are the first ones to start the conversation, and we start with a quote right out of the gate. So that's kind of important. I believe this is as far as you can progress in terms of the book aspect that I talked about a couple times. Now we want to talk to the wife. We want to talk about her past, and we want to tell her we know she's hiding something in the vent. This is yet another giant recap of everything that happens in the game, so I'm going to fast forward this. We should know all of the details by now. Not much has changed since the last, 2 loops.
I couldn't.
I did.
Your brother. He killed.
I have a fucking brother.
You're basically convincing her of the fact that she has a brother, and the brother is the killer.
Okay, you ready? There's more. A man is about to ring the doorbell.
And he's warning her about the cop as well, and letting her know that the cop was close to her father. Another important detail. We're going to talk to the wife again, and we are going to talk about her past. And you can go through all of these, but the most important one here is find more about the brother being the killer. So click on that.
He's the killer. How do we find him?
I don't know. Nobody.
I'm gonna skip through this conversation for a bit.
I was 2 years. I mean, maybe he was there.
And then we're gonna just exhaust the rest of the dialogue here, just to make sure that we have it all done.
Was it after?
Why did you
Somewhere around this point, you may hear that the cop is at the door.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I tried to. And I mean, fucking. Yeah.
If you want, you can talk about the cop and then wait for the cop to arrive. But none of this information is really all that useful. So we're going to leave the conversation now. We're going to step aside. And we are going to quickly give the pocket watch to the wife. You can let her get it herself later on, but if you got it out of the bathroom, you definitely want to make sure you hand it to her. You can now step to the side and basically wait for the cop to come in. And they will have a conversation.
Is that him? What do we do? Do we open the door? We need to tell him.
Now, this entire conversation basically plays out in the exact same way as the previous one, but your wife has a little bit more knowledge because she now knows that the brother is the killer, which she didn't know in the last loop. And she'll reveal this information to the cop. So she'll do the whole thing, reveal the picture might be fake, she'll reveal the knowledge about the relationship, he'll talk about his daughter, she'll offer him the watch. All of that happens the exact same as last time, but this time, after all of this, he will make a very specific remark. Now, there will be a lot of little details given out during this section, and if you're really smart, you may already be putting some of the pieces of the puzzle together in your head. I won't spoil them until they are spoiled within the game itself through gameplay, but there will be a long conversation here that will end with the cop deciding to go and kill the brother, or find the brother, rather, and he's going to find the brother by going through the nanny. And then we'll get into the next loop, so just keep waiting.
If you told her what I was really here for, she'd never talk to me again. I'm going now.
Wait just a second. Here. Take the watch. You need it more than I do. She does.
I'll look for your brother. I'll start with the nanny, go from there.
How much do you remember about her?
It's been a long time.
Do you remember her name?
Something flowery. Daphne, Daisy, something like that. I'll dig into it. I'll let you know when I know more.
Wow. So what happens now? Is it over?
No, it's gonna happen again.
You can now fast forward through the conversation to end up in the next loop.
No.
All right, so this playthrough, you can do it a bunch of different ways. I'm going to do it in what I believe is the most effective way. We're going to start by grabbing both of the mugs. We're going to fill one of the mugs with water. And then let's talk to the wife in the middle of the room, as we always have to.
Not.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go into the bathroom. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to grab the sleeping pills. I'm going to mix the sleeping pills with the mug of water. I'm going to go outside. If I haven't done so already, I can ask the wife about her book for yet another time.
Wise man once said,
But if I've done it correctly, I will start off the conversation with a quote about the book, meaning that I am correctly set up for an ending later on in the game.
Yeah, okay.
After that, we are going to give her the mug. And after we give her the mug, it is very important that we go to the bedroom. We want to go into the bedroom here. We want to turn the light on and then turn the light off. This will allow us to be ready for the cop who is on his way. And when we're waiting, go to the drawer, find the present,
So tired all of a sudden.
look at the present,
Oh, just gonna lie down for a sec. We'll
Our wife is going to go to bed, but she won't even notice that we looked at the present. We haven't even told her in this loop everything we know. But once she's in bed, you want to actually look at the baby clothes.
baby clothes with my mother's name.
Baby clothes with my mother's name on it.
Baby clothes with my mother's name.
And now what we can do is we're going to let the cop come in. So we're going to close the bathroom door. We're going to open the front door. And we're going to wait in the closet. And then we're going to wait here for 5 seconds until it fast forwards.
Now we wait.
Once he comes in, he should go to the bedroom and electrocute himself unconscious. And we can now exit and go and interact with him. Steal all of his items and then handcuff him right after. And then after you handcuff him, you'll want to talk to him. Sometimes he takes a minute to wake up. Once he wakes up, interact with him to talk to him, and you'll want to tell him her brother is the killer.
She didn't kill her father, it was her brother.
What? Untie me now.
And the second option, tell him her brother is the killer.
She didn't kill anyone. It was her brother.
Let me go.
Now you want to leave the conversation, get the revolver, and shoot the cop in the leg.
Don't. Oh, God.
You can now talk to the cop again, and he should have more to say to you.
I'm not fighting you. What do you want?
Now you want to ask him about the nanny.
Tell me about the nanny.
I barely remember her. It was so long ago.
Come on, there's gotta be something. Her name?
You're going to ask for her name, and he's not really sure.
Daisy.
Daphne or Daisy. It starts with a D. It's some sort of flower. Oh boy, do we have a surprise for you.
It's been over 20 years. What do you expect?
And now we're going to leave the conversation and give him the onesie.
Look at this.
Cute onesie. So, what?
The name. Look at the name. Is that the nanny that he had the affair with?
Yes.
Is Dahlia the nanny? Dahlia is the nanny.
It was Dahlia.
If you figured it out, Dahlia is the nanny who the wife's dad had an affair with. You're her son, and your wife's the dad's daughter. Basically, y'all brother and sister. Which is a pretty insane realization that causes your character to go into a panic. And you will be teleported into a new area we've never really been in that takes place at 1158. Sorry if I explained that poorly, but the wife's dad had an affair with a nanny named Dahlia, and Dahlia is your mom. That makes you, like, have the same dad, but not the same mom, I guess. So at 11:59, you are now going to be having a conversation.
Look,
You are having a conversation with the father.
I gotta know that we're on the same page concerning these feelings. So consider your answer to this question very carefully. What do you want with my daughter?
I can't just stop feeling for her. I love her. I love her with everything in me.
I don't care about your feelings. Feel however you feel. Feelings don't.
Now, as you can imagine, the dad, knowing all of this,
You.
doesn't want you to be with the daughter. And during this option, you can choose whatever you want. It all leads to a small altercation that allows you to finally kind of beat the game, which we're not really ready to do. We're finally ready to unlock all these achievements. But you choose the first option. Maybe she doesn't need to know.
I do.
Maybe she doesn't need to know. Maybe we can just be happy.
What? We just keep this from her? You expect me to stand here and say nothing while you just fucking dance around like nothing's wrong? What if she gets pregnant? You want me to just keep this secret from her? From my daughter? We just pretend to be happy?
I don't know. People pretend to be happy all
Obviously, this guy is somewhat, although he did cheat on his wife, he is somewhat rightfully upset about this, his son wanting to date his daughter.
You are so naive, so stupid.
And then the father will die, and this will give us a whole bunch of information and allow us to continue playing the game a little bit. We are ready to go for endings if we want to, but we don't want to, actually. We're gonna instead do collectibles and do a couple of other things. All right, so I'm going to count this as a loop, but really we're just going to go for like collectibles and prepare some other stuff.
No, you stay back.
Hey, it's me.
The wife will come out and talk to us.
Okay.
No, don't touch me.
Let me help. What is it?
And now that we remember all this past stuff, we clearly don't really want to have anything to do with her.
Hey,
But
then the loop kind of starts again.
it can't be true.
And this time it's going to act as we are used to.
It can't be true.
Now, let's start off by turning on the light. And let's go and grab the knife. Then I'm going to let myself talk to my wife here, just so I can get that past myself. That always has to happen, obviously.
best friend ever. Let me know when you're in.
And now it says, when we hover over her, by the way, it says her instead of wife, which is a pretty interesting touch. But there is a painting on the wall, and after the confrontation with the dad, it should be of the winter. When you interact with that, the achievement should unlock for getting all of the seasons. Additionally, another thing that has changed is the egg painting on the wall near the stove. It's now a snake coming out. That's 2 out of 3 egg paintings. And then we have the knife from the kitchen, and we're going to go to the bedroom.
Guess who has 2 thumbs and remember to pay the electric.
We're going to turn the light on in the bedroom. Sorry for Game Pass rewards. Hopefully you're getting some rewards too. And you should notice that the painting here is also changed. This should be our 3rd out of 3, rather. We can now back out. And what we want to do is we want to use the knife on the flower. This will just cut the flower. We're going to be working on the gardener achievement. And basically we have to do 3 specific loops. Each loop will generate a flower on our plant. And then we have to get the flower to health in order to get that achievement. So the flower's cut. So now that the new red flower can grow. And we are going to stick the knife in the socket in order to end the loop early. You can also leave out the front door, but the wife gets really annoying sometimes at this point and just keeps talking to you. Getting in your way. All right, so now we're going to go for the Groundhog Day loop, which is a specific loop that allows us to get our first out of 3 flowers on the potted plant. You can switch on the light, but we'll want to start by going inside of the door on the closet, go into the closet, interact with the clothes, pick up the phone. We'll want to call Bumblebee as soon as we can here. And once we call Bumblebee, we should have a new option that we didn't really have before.
Hello?
Hey.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit here.
He is gonna hurt.
What are you talking about? Why would you say that?
And what you want to do is tell her why her father is really doing this. This is a new option we didn't have before, but if we select this, the cop or the father of Bumblebee won't show up at all to the apartment. And what we can do is actually have the perfect day with our wife.
Watching your dad wants to kill us to get it.
What are you talking about?
Just call him and ask him.
Fine. I will.
So now that we have that set up, let's walk out into the room. Our wife will greet us, or she will greet us, I guess.
I didn't know you'd come in. Best night ever.
And I'm going to talk to her again, and I'm going to go to other topics, and then I'm going to tell her it's a great time for dessert.
Okay.
This is basically what we did at the very beginning of the game, but I'm going to now basically not get interrupted by the cop. So tell her you want dessert, pick up both of the cups. You want to interact with the sink on both of them in order to fill them up with water. We then want to interact with the fridge. Grab both of the desserts from the fridge. Our wife can also set the table, but it's faster if we do it ourselves. So that's why I'm just going to do it myself.
I wasn't expecting a storm tonight. Hey, as long as you're using the tableware.
Yeah, I'll finish.
Yeah, so sometimes she does interrupt us, but just set the table with the 2 mugs and the 2 plates. You can then interact with the radio by the windowsill. This should turn on some music. You can then interact with the light switch. Feel free to interact with the book if you think you're not ready.
Hey,
She'll get mad at you, but you can now interact with her. And you can talk about other topics and tell her that the table is ready.
Table set.
nice. Great. Let's do it.
And we can sit down at the table and have a nice romantic dinner. Again, we want this to be the perfect night with our wife, who's also our sister. What a twist. Who saw that one coming?
So good.
Just eat the dessert, and eventually, as time proceeds, the wife will give you the present and announce that she is pregnant. We're going to have to kind of play dumb. We haven't obviously told her in this loop that we know everything and all that stuff. So she's pretty clueless. We're just playing along. And we're gonna be kind of dumb on purpose. So open the present. Find the baby clothes.
So?
Then you can talk to her.
Let's talk later.
Yeah. I'm pregnant. We are having.
She is going to tell you she's pregnant and you're having a baby.
So?
And you just want to be all positive things. So tell her what you think. That it's going to be great.
Hey, it's gonna be great.
You think so?
You kidding me? You're incredible, and I'm, decent. The baby that we make is gonna be amazing, and it will be so loved.
Yeah. Damn straight. God, I love you.
Y'all start making out, and she will offer to dance with you. You do have to dance with her.
We're doing it. We're having a baby. Hey,
You can fast forward through all of this dialogue, but once she does ask to dance with you, say with pleasure.
Stuff. Yeah, let's do it.
You lead. I'll follow.
So stand up and get out of the table.
Lady.
You can't fast forward this.
This is nice, huh?
I always like
And there should be one more dialogue option here as well.
I like that you like it.
Huh?
I like making you happy. That's all.
What did they threaten you?
Nobody's ever been as good at it as you.
That's impossible.
It's good at...
Making me happy.
Well, back at you.
Hey, you're my little girl. I'll do anything.
I feel safe with you. I always have.
Okay, I won't hurt
It's
him.
hard for me to trust,
I
but
promise. I double
trust you.
promise. Yeah. Okay. I'll be back.
And as you can see, the cop did come, but he was convinced to leave by Bumblebee, and this was only possible because we called her earlier and had a very specific conversation. Additionally, right after the dance and after he leaves, you do have to tell her how much you love her.
God, I did not think I could love someone this much.
You know what happens when you talk like that. Follow me.
We're now gonna follow her to the bedroom. You'll also notice that the flower, although when we used our knife on it last time, it broke the pot, but now in this next loop, it's just a bare flower, which is fine. And then we're gonna go and interact with the bed, and you can imagine what's gonna happen next. We're going to let this ride out until the next loop starts. This is the Groundhog loop. It will unlock an achievement, and it will plant one flower on the flower pot. But we haven't watered it, so it's not really going to grow for a bit. It doesn't really matter, but we're going to be basically doing 3 specific loops for 3 specific flowers to grow on that pot.
Just, can you hold me?
Yeah. Always.
I really love you, you know?
I do know. I really... No. And we're back.
Now, the next loop we want to do is the coward loop. I'm going to start by turning on the light, and I'm going to go into the closet, and I'm going to grab the cell phone from the jacket. We're not going to use it, but we need it for later. We're then going to walk in and grab both of the mugs. Our wife will probably interrupt us here, so I'm just going to let her. We're going to skip that conversation. And then we're going to grab both of the mugs and fill both of them with water. Fill both of the mugs with water.
Hey, I finally remembered.
Now I'm going to go to the bedroom. I'm going to turn the light on. And then I'm going to show you this flower. Feel free to water your flower with 1 mug. It's okay if your flower looks slightly different than mine. Mine might have a little more leaves than yours, but that's not a big deal. After that, you want to turn the light off. The light switch is now armed. And you want to head back into the living room. You want to go into the washroom, close the door, interact with the medicine cabinet. You want to grab the sleeping pills. You want to take the house keys and interact with the ventilation grid. You want to grab the pocket watch. You want to exit this screen, and then you want to mix the pills with the water. You can then leave out of the bathroom door. and give the water to your wife.
Expecting a strong.
Water?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I was about to grab some.
We're going to close the door to the bathroom. We're going to open the front door. This is just to prep us for to save time.
I forgot to call the landlord about the light switch. Am I doing that tomorrow?
She's going to get really tired, obviously, and we are going to make sure she goes to bed. I like to actually sit in the room with her because that way she doesn't close the door on us. Although it doesn't really matter. Just make sure her door's open. And once she goes to bed, you want to go into the closet. And you want to close the closet and wait for 5 seconds for the cop to show up. We are going to be doing the cowardly thing and betraying our wife. This will unlock our 2nd out of 2 flowers for the little flower pot, as well as give us an achievement. So with everything prepped, I waited in the closet, and the cop's going to come in and shock himself unconscious. I know you're thinking, I thought we were betraying the wife. We will. It's a little bit more complicated, but you'll see. Once he goes in the room, he shocks himself, as always. Open the door, leave, go into the room, and interact with his body. The only thing you want to take from him is his zip tie. 1 zip tie. Then apply that 1 zip tie to the cop to handcuff him. And then once he's handcuffed, you're just going to wait for him to wake up. As soon as he is awoken, you want to start a conversation with him. Sometimes it takes a while. So now that he's up, start a conversation with him, and you'll start with, say you are innocent.
I'm sorry that I cuffed you.
At this point, we are going to fast forward some of this dialogue because it has happened. Nothing really new here. We're just doing something specific for an achievement, so this is all old information. On the next dialogue option, choose okay, I'll do as you say.
Okay, I will.
And we're going to fast forward a little bit more. He's going to get up now. He's going to unhandcuff himself from the zip ties, and he's going to talk to you.
You know where the watch is?
I'm going to fast forward, and he's going to ask us about the watch. You're going to say, I know where it is, and you're going to hand him over the watch.
Listen carefully. I need a few
I'm going to fast forward again,
sit on the couch,
and he's going to ask me to sit on the couch and stay there until he's done.
and I'll kill you.
We're going to agree with everything he has to say and apparently walk right through him to go and sit on the couch. You can probably see where this is going. Maybe, maybe not. But that gun that we left him will be used. And we didn't really give him any of the information he needed to not want to kill her. So he's obviously going to go and do that. Once he's done, he's going to confront us and he's going to say that he needs a phone, and we're going to give him our phone, which we grabbed earlier. If you didn't have it, you could walk into the closet and grab it. Same with the watch itself, but because we prepped it, it will be faster this way. He's going to coach us on what we have to say to the emergency, and in this case, we are going to lie and say that we came home and that we found our wife in her current state, and yeah. When emergency services asks what we need, we're going to choose the top option.
My wife shot herself, and I think she's dead.
All right, sir. A unit will be there in 15 minutes. Stay where you are.
You fucked up your life.
Now the cop will talk to you, and he will leave. And then you just want to stand here and do nothing until the loop automatically ends. And that should grant you your achievement and put a second flower on your flower pot in your bedroom. However, you won't see it unless you water the plant. Don't worry, I'll do that. I'll tell you how to do it, but that is how you unlock Coward. Last but certainly not least, we have to do a third and final specific loop. This one is the confession. Go into the closet, go to the clothes, grab the phone, use the phone, and call Bumblebee. Once you call Bumblebee, you'll want to choose. You can fast forward a little bit through the very beginning here.
Please.
But you will want to choose, say your wife is innocent.
My wife is innocent, but your dad...
And then just wait for this to finish off.
Hey, well, please, could you just call him and tell him to listen? He doesn't have the whole story.
Okay, fine. I'll call him, but lose my number.
We're then going to leave the closet. The wife will talk to us. You can fast forward through that as well.
I didn't hear.
Not now.
Okay. Rude.
Grab the cup from next to the sink. Fill the cup with water from the sink. Go into the bedroom and water the plant. As you're watering the plant in these playthroughs, it could be growing a little bit here. Mine might be a little bit more flowery than yours, but that's okay. If we inspect the plant, we'll notice that there are 2 flower buds out of 3. Your plant might not show them as well as mine, depending on how healthy it is, but don't worry. Leave the room and then go into the bathroom. Close the door behind you. Interact with the medicine cabinet and then use the house keys on the ventilation grid. Okay, I messed that up. Let's do that again. House keys on the ventilation grid. Now we're going to grab the pocket watch and we're going to leave this screen. We're going to leave the door and go into the room. You can talk to her about her book if you think you need to, but if you've talked to her at least 4 times about her book, you don't need to anymore. Now that you talk to the wife, you want to talk to her about the past and tell her what really happened. We're going to fast forward some of these conversations as they are just repeats, but say that you killed her father.
Look, it was me. I'm the man that killed you.
What kind of...
Now, because this is the confession run, you can imagine what we're going to do. We're going to fast forward and we are going to say it's your fault.
It's all my fault, all of it. I should have told you.
We're going to fast forward again.
Go back. I'm having your...
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry. Jesus.
Then you will say you will confess to the cop. Sorry, this this game makes my brain malfunction a little bit.
But I'll clear your name. I'll confess.
Who are you?
And then we're going to fast forward through the conversation again.
You're disgusting. Fine.
We're going to talk to the wife.
We are not talking.
Apparently, we're not going to talk to the wife, so we're going to fast forward by going to sleep instead. Go into the bedroom and go to bed. This should fast forward our clock until the cop arrives.
Hey, Bumblebee.
And the cop will arrive, but they will talk to Bumblebee outside of the door for a bit first.
What do you... Honey, I think you got prank calls. What the... Did they threaten you?
We're basically just going to wait for the cop to knock on the door. We will let the wife answer, and then we will interrupt their conversation at the right time in order to confess.
Love you more. All right,
Let's do
open up.
this.
I'm going to move my character into the middle of the room just to be closer to the conversation.
What? What are you talking
They will begin their conversation, you know, all the usual stuff. Oh, you know my dad, your daughter's sick, all that stuff, whatever. Doesn't matter.
I know you think I killed my father.
But she will actually tell him that my husband has something to tell you. And that is our cue to talk to him.
have anything you want to tell
So let's talk to him.
Okay, so listen.
And what we need to do here is there are some very specific things. So tell him you killed her father.
It was me. I'm the one.
Fast forward the conversation a little bit.
Monster. I'm the monster. That's what his. When she found.
Jesus, you killed your...
Now we're going to say it's your fault.
This is all on me. She didn't know.
We'll deal with
And then we are going to tell him about the watch.
Yeah.
This will give him the watch as we already grabbed it earlier on in the playthrough.
Die. Here.
Now the cop will leave.
I'm going to leave now. Remember, if I found you once, I can find you again. And you don't want to see me again.
And after he leaves, I believe our wife will tell us to leave.
Get out of here.
And she's going to tell us to get out of here, and we are going to do just that by walking out the front door, unlocking the Confessed achievement. We should now have 3 flowers on the flower pot, so we're ready to get the Gardener achievement. Start by turning on the light and filling one of the mugs with water. After you fill a mug with water, grab the knife off the kitchen counter, go to the middle of the room and talk to the wife.
I didn't hear.
Fast forward through this
Okay.
and go to the bedroom. Turn on the light and then use your mug on the flower itself. We're going to be watering the flower until it's fully bloomed. So we're just going to keep doing this loop over and over. Use the knife on the switch to end the loop prematurely. And I'm going to repeat this process 1 or 2 more times in order to grab the Gardener achievement. All right, and we're just going to keep repeating that. So as soon as we spawn, I'm going to grab another mug. I'm going to fill the mug with water in the sink. I'm going to grab the knife and walk towards the bedroom. The wife will probably interrupt us, but that's okay. And we want to use the mug on the flowers. I won't have enough time here. She will interrupt us. So just go through the conversation, and we're just going to keep doing this until the flower looks nice and good.
Let's talk later.
So this is after 2 waterings in a row. It's close, but not quite there yet. Use the knife on the wall to restart the loop yet again. All right, the flowers will either be perfect on this one or the next one, so we're going to do it one more time. I know this is a little repetition, but I decided to keep it in the guide so that it gives a realistic amount of time for this playthrough. We're going to fill the water, grab the knife, go to the bedroom. Maybe we'll be really quick this time and the wife won't bother us. We can turn the switch on. We can inspect the flowers. And they are not quite ready yet, but we can water them. The wife didn't let us water them yet again. Oh.
Come in. Best night.
Fast forward the conversation. And water the flowers. They're getting close. They're getting close. I think this might be the one. Use the knife on the wall. And one more loop. And hopefully we're done.
Getting used to that tingle.
All right, same thing as always. Mug.
It's empty.
Water in the mug. Knife on the counter. Go to the bedroom. Turn on the light switch. Inspect the flowers. Our wife interrupts us yet again.
Okay.
All right, these flowers, I think, are, I guess, one step away. So we're going to water these as well. And the gardener achievement unlocked. There we go. We are going to now end the loop, and I'm going to show you the 3 endings left in the game. If we actually go to the achievements, we have 3 endings left, and then the egg is found as a part of one of the endings. So use the knife on the switch, and I'll show you the 3 endings next, and we're almost done. All right, last but not least, I'm going to show you the 3 endings of the game, making sure to do them in this order. One of the endings we already did at the very beginning of the game, but there are 3 more. So it's called the alone ending, and this is the ending where we're going to end up alone. So to start this one, feel free to just turn on the light and wait for your wife to greet you.
Hey there.
And we'll skip forward through that conversation.
Okay.
And we'll head into the bathroom. We'll close the door behind us, go to the medicine cabinet, and use our house keys on the ventilation grid. This will allow us to grab the pocket watch. And once we grab the pocket watch, just stare at it. You're literally just going to stare at it for a while. We're also going to grab our final egg painting during this playthrough, which will grab us the egg achievement. I'm not really sure what it's called. The clock will automatically reverse back to 11:58, and you will be teleported back into the father's office.
There he is. You're back. Look, I know this is a terrible shock.
Pretty early on, you will have a dialogue option where there will be 2 options. You can listen to him talk for quite a long time here. There's a bunch of story and stuff happening, but if you want to cut it short and just get the achievement and move on, choose maybe it's better that we aren't together.
Deserve better.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess.
This means that you will be alone because you're going to choose not to be with the wife.
I leave and worship.
Obviously, that's the alone ending.
And I know it's hard. Thank you for understanding why it needs to be this way. This whole... I've made so many mistakes. But for what it's worth, I'm glad...
You can't actually fast forward this part of the dialogue. We could earlier, but not this one. Now, for 3 of the endings in this game, you can press continue afterwards, but there is an ending that restarts all your game progress, so we're going to make sure to do that one last. We just got the alone ending, and as soon as we are back to this screen, we can basically press start and press continue. This kind of resets us in a bit of a loop. You'll notice things are a little bit different now as we are alone. Walk forward again, and just head through your door. No rock necessary because our wife was the one who actually put that rock there. The house keys will just be on you. Now, once you walk in, feel free to go into the washroom, look in the ventilation grid using your house keys. You'll notice that the pocket watch is here and we can select it and it will break the arm. We're going to pick the arm up and put it at 11:58. We now have to wait for the second timer to reach back to 12. This will bring us back into the library with the dad yet again.
There he is. You back? Look, I know this is a terrible shock, but we need to be on the same page. These feelings for my daughter.
We can't skip through this stuff.
Look,
keep that in mind.
This isn't how I wanted to tell you. You deserve both.
During this, you want to choose I want to be with her.
You want to know my answer?
Yes, I do.
I don't care. I love her no matter what.
And then you want to choose she never needs to know.
All right. You know what?
What?
She never needs to know. We can be happy.
You just want to play dumb. She's pregnant. You got your sister pregnant. We just can't ignore that.
We'll keep it. And she doesn't need to know.
No. No? We're not just gonna lie to her about this.
Why not? You lied about everything else.
Yeah, I have. But it stops here. You just won't listen. Stupid.
Sir? Are you... Sir? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh.
At this point, the clock yet again will shoot forward and will kind of restart the loop. Once this loop resets, we're going to go back into our apartment, but this time it is full of things. We will turn on the light quickly, and we will look at the egg painting, which should now be a snake. This will unlock the egg painting related achievement.
I didn't hear you come in. Best night ever. Guess who made dessert? Let me know.
Yeah, I will.
And then we're going to go back in and do the mindfulness, which is related to the book. So make sure that you have the correct quote with the book here. We are going to go into the bathroom. If you don't have the right quote, just keep doing the loop until you get all the book quotes. We're going to close the door behind us. We're going to interact with it. The medicine cabinet, that is. Use the house keys. Grab the watch. And we're just going to stare at the watch for a bit. And it'll automatically rewind to 11:58 as before. We are now working on the mindfulness ending. The way it went from the alone ending to the mindfulness ending is maybe a little bit confusing, but we ended up just restarting a loop right before we looked at that snake painting. We're getting brought back to the library with the dad, and because this is the book ending, we needed the quotes from the book, as I said earlier. So we're just going to patiently wait here for a second as the conversation begins, which we cannot skip.
You're back. Look, I know this is a terrible shock, but we need to be on the same page. These feelings for my daughter, your sister. Look, this isn't how I wanted to tell you. You deserve Both.
When these options come up, we're actually not going to choose either of them. At this point, we're waiting for the dialogue to progress until the father tells us to say something. Only at that point can you choose the book behind yourself. You can get ready by hovering your cursor over the book. Just don't click it until he says, say something.
I guess it was always going to happen. Nothing stays swallowed down forever. So, you got to make a call. If I could go back, well, things would be different. You can't just try again. That's not how life works. So, you got to make the choice. And you got to make it now. Say something.
When he says say something, what you want to do is select the book.
That we ever really drop the thread of time and approach the experience of living in the present moment.
You read that one, eh?
You will then have the option to change your mind, but don't press it. Instead, select the clock on the wall in front of you to look at it. Time on the clock will continue to tick through, and you just want to focus on this clock until it reaches the end. Don't choose any of the options. Don't go back and forth and click on anything. Just choose the clock.
Back. You can't undo this. We can talk about it still. We can choose an answer.
And just keep waiting until the clock strikes 12 without choosing. This should unlock the Mindfulness ending. The last achievement and ending we have in the game is called Continue. Keep in mind when you do the Continue ending, it will reset all of your progress and you will have to restart the game. So I highly recommend leaving this one for last. So last but not least, to get this ending, take the clock and rotate it back to 11:58. You can now press Continue, which we couldn't have clicked before. And this will bring us back to the library, probably for the last time, because you will have everything done after this. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure you drop a like if it was helpful or useful. It really helps out the channel and makes more videos like this possible in the future.
Hey, there he is.
Now the conversation will begin,
Look,
and the dad will keep talking to you for a bit here.
but we need to be on the same page. These feelings for my daughter, your sister. Look,
You will have an option here, and you're going to want to select, I want to be with her.
I love her no matter what.
no matter what. No matter.
Then we're going to choose, she never needs to know.
You can be happy.
You just want to play dumb. She's pregnant. You got your sister pregnant. We just can't ignore that.
We'll keep it. And she doesn't need to know.
No. No? We're not just gonna lie to her about this.
Why not? You lied about everything else.
Yeah, I have. But it stops here. You just won't listen.
This time he will attack you,
Stupid.
and we're just going to wait.
Are you, sir?
The clock will fast forward to 12, and we'll end up back in the apartment again. I know it's getting a little bit confusing, but hopefully you're keeping up.
No, wait, no. No.
Now that we're back in the apartment, go and you're going to want to go into the washroom and find the pocket watch yet again. You kind of have to do 2 of these 11:58 loops to go and talk to the dad if that hasn't been pretty obvious. You'll be greeted by your wife. You'll want to fast forward through that.
Not now.
Okay.
Go into the washroom, close the door behind you, and grab the watch. Use the pocket watch and set it to 11:58.
What? How is this possible?
I guess it's going automatically this time.
How is this possible?
Now for this last and final continue ending, we want to interact with the book pretty much pretty early on here.
A terrible shock. But we need to be on the same page. These feelings.
We can't do it right away, but hopefully we'll do it pretty fast here.
Look.
So interact with the book behind yourself.
It's only by forgetting that we ever really dropped the thread of time and approached the experience of living in the present moment.
At this point, you're just going to let him talk and don't do anything. Don't touch the clock. Don't choose any of the options on screen. You can pretty much put your controller down and this will play itself out and you will get the credits of the game. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like on it. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. And I hope to see you in one of my future 100% full game walkthroughs. I will let the video play out till the end and prove that I have 1,000 gamer score, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you soon. Peace.
Don't have to forget if you don't want to. The choice is yours. This is your last chance. All right. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Also, a little bit of a fair warning, after doing this ending, you can no longer continue from the main menu. If you want to grab any other achievements you've missed, you will have to restart the entire game.